Welcome to Chemistry with Caroline. In this video, we're going to look at the nomenclature of amines. So this is my amine functional group right here. I don't have anything else on this chain, so I would number to give it the lowest priority possible, so the lowest locant number. This is a 4-carbon chain. Since it's at the 1 position, I don't actually have to put a locant on there, and this would be called butane amine. And that amine is scooted right up against the butane part. So if it was just a 4-carbon chain, it'd be butane. We replace that ending E with the whole word amine here to say that we have an amine functional group. So in this example, I have substituents coming off of the nitrogen. So we're going to look at how we modify the name to indicate where those substituents are when they're coming off of a nitrogen atom. So I would find the longest chain with the nitrogen on it. So I'm actually going to start numbering up here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. That's the longest chain. And then I have substituents here. So I'm going to change colors here. So there's a methyl substituent, another methyl, this one coming off a nitrogen, and an ethyl substituent. So those are going to go in alphabetical order like you would expect out in front. And so first would come the ethyl. The ethyl is coming off of an N, so we just put N in front of it. So N, ethyl. And then you have a methyl group, one coming off the nitrogen and one coming off carbon 3. The N is going to come before the numbers when we're listing locants. And so this would be an N3 dimethyl. And then the amine functional group is at the 2 position. So then I could say 2 pentanamine. Now remember, I used the whole word amine in place of the E that would be at the end of pentane. So that's the modifier for the functional group. So this tells me that I have an amine, and this locant directly before the parent chain tells me where it is. And then here's my substituents out in front, and a couple of them are on the nitrogen, and so I use N to indicate that those are coming off of a nitrogen directly. In terms of priority with other functional groups on a ring or a chain that you're looking to name, amines are about in the middle of what you've probably encountered so far. So the carbonyl group, any functional group containing a carbonyl, is going to be the highest priority group. Then come alcohols, and then amines. I'm going to say NR3, where R can be an H or a carbon. Then you would have alkynes and alkenes. And then lastly, you would have another alkyl group or a halogen. So X being like fluorine, bromine, chlorine, any of those. So as a substituent, as opposed to modifying the parent name, the amine is called an amino group. So if you have a higher priority group on there, like an alcohol or an aldehyde or a ketone or some other carbonyl derivative, that amine is going to be a substituent on your chain, and you would refer to it as an amino group. So in this example, I have an alcohol on the parent molecule, and so that would be the highest priority group. So I would start numbering at that carbon with the alcohol on it. And then on a ring, you can go clockwise or counterclockwise. You're going to want to go clockwise to give the next substituent the lowest number. So the NH2 group in this case is going to be a substituent at the 3 position. Now, I have stereochemistry associated with these 2 substituents because they have wedges and dashes drawn there. But when I only have 2 groups on there, I can use cis or trans to note their relative positioning to one another. Because the NH2 group is down, it's a dash, and because the alcohol group is up, it's a wedge, I can just use the term trans to say that they're opposite of one another. So I can say trans out in front, and then I would say 3 amino. So in this case, that NH2 group is a substituent. And then I can scoot it right up against cyclohexanol. I don't need to use a locant for the alcohol because it will by default be at the 1 position because it's the highest priority group. So I've got my stereochemistry indicated out front. Those 2 groups are trans to one another. I could also assign R and S and indicate that for each carbon. Or if there's only 2 substituents on the ring, you can use cis and trans. And then I have my substituent, the 3 amino. So there's the locant, and then the name for it as a substituent, and then the parent compound, cyclohexanol. So it's a cyclic ring with 6 members, and the OL tells me that there's an alcohol coming off of it. So this has been a look at the nomenclature of amines. If you found this video helpful, please like, subscribe, and share with your friends. Thanks.